Cool.
Nice.
All right.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to this One Time at Summer Camp. I am one of your hosts, Jeff Thompson. I've got my co-host here, Aaron. Say hello, Aaron.
Hello,
Hi.
Aaron. No,
And John. Say hello, John.
Hey, what's up?
Cool. All right. Yeah.
We're
I guess John's not talking today. That's fine. Yeah, we like to kick this off with a good get-to-know-you question. I actually have one that is listener submitted. Yeah.
Ooh.
This was
Who submitted
tweeted
this
at
one?
us.
I'm sorry. Did you say we got to tweet?
Yeah, someone. We were tweeted on June 26th by David Box.
I can't
He
believe
said
it.
for get to know you question, if you could have 1 million of something other than money, what would it be?
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess I will start off. I'm Jeff Thompson. I work at Lutherdale in Wisconsin. David Box is my boss. I've also worked at Sugar Creek in Wisconsin. And if I could have 1 million of something that was not money, I'd probably say guitar strings. Because I break them
Yeah.
in the summer. And
Yeah.
especially that G string. It's brutal.
Oh God! Every guitarist joke right
Everybody
there.
heard that. Jeff needs 1 million G strings.
I need some B's and D's in there too. But
Oh,
mostly
yeah,
G.
yeah. Some of those.
Not E. E's never break.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's good. That's a good answer. Dang.
Yeah.
You went like useful and practical.
Right?
I was not prepared for that. John, you go.
John, you go. If I had 1 million of
Who are
something,
you?
I would. Huh?
You have
Oh,
to
who
say,
am
like,
I?
who are you?
We
Yeah.
always forget. We always forget.
Yeah. I just I want to jump in and start talking about myself. I'm John. I'm in the lovely state of Idaho today where it's blistering hot. Went out to weed my garden this morning and didn't do it.
How hot is blistering hot there, John?
Like 12. No, it's supposed to get up to 94 today.
No, poor thing.
Yeah. We might hit triple digits this next week.
Quit stalling. What's your 1 million answer?
I do not currently work at a camp, but I did work at Luther Heights Bible Camp in the lovely Sawtooth Mountains. My 1 million of things, I would take 1 million paid vacation days. So, so that I could use each one of those days, maybe not each one of those days, but I would go backpacking a lot, and I would go visit all the other camps out there and write a book.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you'd exclude like visiting your friends, and I was gonna be really offended by that.
No,
But you said camps, and I work at
Yeah,
camps. so I
yeah,
was
yeah,
he's
like,
literally going to fish for 1 million days.
That's really I thought you would say. I was like, this is where John's going. He's gonna fish.
That's Plan B.
Oh, let's see. I'm Aaron Kolick, former program director at Briarwood in Copper Canyon, Texas, and Camp Stoney in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then I'm going to go some weird here. I would get 1 million cans of Spam.
Oh,
What?
Because I love Spam. I really
love
do.
Spam.
It's so good. You have to fry it up just right. Oh, it's so good. But I think of it this way. Not only would I have a lifetime supply of Spam, it's also a very donatable like food item. You could send it to all these different countries and it lasts for a long time. You don't have to refrigerate it. It's great. So I think it's just a good overall product. And
I mean,
Spam, if you're listening, I will gladly accept a sponsorship for this podcast.
Spam. Some products are meat.
Stuff. I've heard it as stuff
Spam.
posing as meat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, one of my favorite backpacking, which this will kind of lead into my hack, which, Jeff, do you want to say that's next?
Yeah. Well, really quick. I actually grew up near the Spam factory in Minnesota.
You
Yeah,
lucky
so it's
son
like a whole
of a
Spam
bitch.
museum and everything. People would go visit it. It's legit.
Dude, that's on my bucket list to go there.
All right. Well, if you do, let me know because that's I grew up like an hour away from there. So
You ever
We
go
could
to
stay at
the
his
museum?
parents' house.
yeah, I never actually went. I just know it's there and I've heard so much about it, but I don't like Spam, so I don't go to this.
Have you ever had pan-fried Spam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
It's not meat. It's not real meat.
It is. It's just as much meat as hot dogs are.
It's real good.
Yeah, I'd rather have a brat than a hot dog any day. So
Well, yeah, but
I'm not comparing brats to spam either. Like,
sounds like you are. Speaking of brats and spam, John, do you have a hack for us?
oh, I do. So this next week, this is part of my 1 million things. I only get like 6 of these this time though. Vacation days. I'm going backpacking with a couple friends with Tyler that we had
oh
on
yeah,
Yeah.
the show a couple
Rap
of times
battle.
ago. Um, we're going backpacking, and so that started my mind going of things to bring. I've got my list going. One of the things that I hated whenever leading backpacks or any kids coming up to camp was a brand new pair of shoes. They are the worst, especially when it comes to backpacking. We
Yeah,
have parents that, granted, they're so excited, their kids, they're young, they're coming up, they're going to do a backpacking trip for the first time on their own without mom and dad or, that kind of thing. So, let's buy them a new pair of shoes. Well, that's great, but make sure you do it with enough time to break those shoes in before you send them up into the mountains, because you're going to get blisters and you're going to get a lot of hot spots, and nothing ruins a trip quicker than 3 or 4 good sized blisters on a foot, a kid complaining, and the off chance that those just might become infected and we have to continually irrigate and
Chop the
clean
foot
out
off.
those blisters and
Yeah,
chop
amputation,
off the foot.
right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
amputation.
Hey, real question: how long should you how far ahead should you buy those like boots or shoes, and how long should you wear them? Like, how many times should you wear them to break them in proper?
That's a good question.
If you know well enough ahead that you're going on the trip, I would give it a couple to a few weeks, and I would wear them consistently. I would not just wear them around the house or wear them on a walk on the sidewalk. I would take them, do a short 1 mile hike somewhere, every other day or so. Get a feeling of where it might start rubbing on your feet, because you can also be preventative when it comes to blisters. You can put moleskin down, duct tape on those spots where your shoes are rubbing onto your feet, and completely just avoid the blisters that way, because you know that your shoe's going to rub right there. Throw some of that stuff on, and then you should be good to go.
I
But
found
yeah,
that if
so I'm getting ready for my trip. I did get a new pair of hiking shoes, but I am breaking them in. They have done lots of breaking in.
I find that on those hot spots, if you just cut a hole where that hot spot is, it doesn't bother anymore.
Cut a hole in the shoe.
Yeah.
But
That doesn't rub on your foot. It doesn't rub on your foot anymore.
That's true.
I mean,
John, would you recommend wearing chacos while going backpacking?
I feel like it's the choice of many hikers.
Because that's all I wear.
Yeah.
So.
well.
Only if it's got the toe strap.
So I will say that you probably won't get as many hot spots if you're wearing chacos, but sticks, rocks, other things that cut and poke and chop can easily land on those feet. And socks are great, but they're not going to do a whole lot of protection like a pair of hiking shoes will do. Chacos are great to take with you, but do not use them as your sole pair of hiking attire. Once you get to your camp, you get your camp set up, throw your chacos on, cool your feet off, get those sweaty socks off. That also helps with blisters, or preventing blisters. But that is my camp hack.
Thank
I'll
you,
see
John.
y'all in the Sawtooth next week. Come visit me. Campsite next to the tree with the big rock.
You told us not to come to Idaho last week. You said
That's literally what you said.
So.
Oh yeah. You can
Now I'm
come, but
confused.
leave.
You guys mixed messages.
No, you can come, but leave.
This is an emotional roller coaster. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you, John, for that hack. Always appreciate a good hiking hack. We're going to turn it over to Aaron, who has our story for the week.
Okay, so this is kind of like, I don't know how else to phrase it. This is like my big story. Like, and kind of how I got thrown in the deep end a little bit for outdoor ministry. I've told this story to quite a few people, but I don't think I've actually told it here on this podcast. So we'll see how you guys do and what you would have done.
We'll see how you do.
We'll see how you do.
Are you grading us? Is it
huh?
pass fail or is it?
This is a pass fail class.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you do like the bell curve? Do you?
You know, in a pass fail, there's not really a bell curve, but you know, whatever.
But like,
it's
like
more
I
of a,
need some help.
It's more like a cliff dive type of
You can still
graph.
grade it on a curve. You can do the average.
Is there extra credit?
There is extra credit, yes, always.
Okay.
So this is the story of how I started as a program director at Briarwood. I was working part-time for at a church, and my day job was working as a telecommunications advisor, which is very fancy talk for I worked on small business phone systems and like worked with wires. It was just the worst.
You were a Southern Belle.
I was. Thank you. Am.
If you don't get that reference, please everybody look up Southern Bells on the internet. But be careful.
All right, Aaron, please continue.
So we so I was doing that, and then I got this call in to go into ministry, so I quit my Southern Belle job, and I was working at the church part-time knowing something was going to happen. Well, I got the call to from the executive director at Briarwood, and he asked me to come in to interview, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is huge. Like I would love to work at camp. So I go in, and he's like, so I'm not going to lie to you, we're kind of in dire straits, and this is beginning of April. He goes, our program director just quit.
Ooh.
And
Classic.
Camp is 2 months away, and so I'm kind of needing some help. So at the very least, we're looking for someone who can come in on an interim position, and maybe it can turn into something beyond that after the summer. We'll kind of evaluate and see where we're at. But you got recommended to me because you've got history with camp and you work in church. So would you be, and you might be in a place to be able to do that. What do you think? And I was like, yeah, for sure. I love Briarwood. I love camp. I'm happy to help. Yeah, let's do it. And so through a very quick, probably the quickest process I've ever seen for a camp, I went from interview 1 to job in 6 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was because I mean, like they were desperate, right? And I am the definition of if you're desperate, I can help. So April 15th was my first day, and
don't put that out on public radio.
And April 15th was my first day, and I walk in, and I have an intern, and I walk in, I'm like kind of talking to people and everything. I say, well, here, why don't you drive me around camp on the golf cart, show me some stuff. So we kind of take the tour of camp, learning about things, seeing what's new, seeing what's the same from when I worked there as a counselor, 11 years prior to this, and kind of getting a feel for everything. Then we go back in the office. I'm like, all right, well, let's break for lunch, and after lunch, we'll come meet my office, and we'll talk about what we've already got for summer, and we'll go from there. He's like, okay, great. So we go back into my office, and we sit down. It's a very small office, and so we're sitting in office chairs. Like, okay, well, so tell me about our staff. Who do we have? He goes, well, we got these 2 international counselors, one from Germany and one from Colombia through the ELCA International Counselor Program, which was amazing. And I was like, sweet, love it. I was like, who else? He goes, yep, that's it. It's
Ooh.
like, we've got 2 counselors? He's like, yeah. And I was like, are either of them like, at least, do we have guy counselors? He's like, oh no, they're both female. I was like, come on. And so I was like, oh no, okay. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll do some ad scrambling. All right, we'll put a pin in that one. So tell me about curriculum. Like what's curriculum are we using? Like where are we at? He's like, oh, we started writing our own curriculum.
Oh.
Called being the City of Light, based on, I think it's Matthew 5:14 or something like that. But we're, you're a city of light on a hill kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. Show me what you've got. So he pulls up this Word document, and it's got the theme verse. It's got a summary of what that verse means. And it says day 1. And that was it. And I was like, this is nothing.
Man.
This is the theme for a devotion. This is not a curriculum. He's like, yeah, we didn't get too far. I was like, you didn't get anywhere. Like, you put the key in the ignition. That's all you did here. And so,
Barely.
yeah. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, we are so boned. What did I get myself into? Like, what a losing situation. My career went down the tubes before I started. And so I'm like, okay, I tell you what, let's take 5 and let's reconvene. I need a moment to process this. And so he left and I shut my office door. And I was like, oh no, I am so screwed. And that's where I'm going to leave it to you guys. So here's the situation. You've got staff training in essentially 45 days.
Ooh.
You've got camp in 60 days. You have no curriculum. You have no staff except for 2 international counselors. I will say you have a somewhat limited budget, like most camps do, but you do have a little bit of leeway, because with the removal of the program director and then an interim coming in, there's money left with staffing and stuff like that. You're averaging probably 300 campers over the whole summer. Okay, at that point, 7 weeks. What do you do?
Before we get started, I have to confess something, you guys. I've never told you this, but I used to work at Briarwood, and I actually quit all of a sudden in April. So I was the one that screwed you over, and I'm sorry. It was
Jeff. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So here's to you.
Wow, you really screwed up.
Jerk. So anything I do wrong is Jeff's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
All right. So this is hard because knowing what I know now, I think changes what I would have done 5-6 years ago.
Sure.
You're old.
Yeah, right. My first summer, I started in January, but it's a similar position where we had like just interviewed staff, but no one was hired. We were writing our own curriculum, like nothing was ready, but it was January and I had plenty of time to like figure stuff out. So I think the old me would have just like figured it out by myself. But knowing everything I do, the first thing I would have done is I would have reached out to a Mr. Don Johnson.
Don Johnson, the Don Johnson.
Look at that. Yes, I would reach out to Don, who's the head of Lutheran Outdoor Ministries, a kind of a parent organization for all of our ELCA camps. And I would have reached out and said, hey, I just started and I could use some help. Like, you're the pro, you know people. Can you put me in touch with anyone looking for a job? Can you put me in touch with like someone that has curriculum that we could borrow, other camps? Like, help me network and find people that I can bring on to help us make the summer happen. He posts like job openings all the time. He'll email camps saying, hey, these people are looking for a job. Or LOM also makes their own curriculum. So I would have just like go to Don and John, you're so distracting.
What was that?
I don't know.
I don't even know what you did.
Yeah, I would have emailed Don or called Don and just said, hey, I need help. Please give me a hand. I need staff. I probably also would have called like local churches and talked to the bishop and be like, hey, do you have anyone that you know? Yeah, maybe begged, pleaded, bribed. Yeah. I don't know.
That's good.
Go to like Walmart and see if anyone's looking for a job. Like anything. I would have been scraping every barrel to find staff at that point in time.
That's good. That's good. How about you, John?
Yeah.
Also, thank you for the affirmation, John. I was right. It was Matthew 5:14. I'm so proud.
Matthew 5:14 for everybody that. I think it's Matthew. He got it right on. So if you have any Bible questions, you can email those to this number one time at summer camp to Aaron Colwick, and he will probably answer them. Sometimes he might not. Yeah, that's really hard. I think just the same as Jeff, I would start reaching out to anybody I know, anybody I don't know, saying, hey, have you got anybody that's interested? I really need some staff, and kind of start there, because I think getting that lead out and saying, hey, I need people will give you time to start on the curriculum and to get working on that. I also think there's an opportunity if you have any former staff that worked at Briarwood or, to reach out to them and say, are you interested in another summer? If not, would you please help us in reaching out to others? So would you share on Facebook? Would you, get them one of the things I learned in my time working as a program director is I can't sell anything. Not because for lack of trying, not be, yes, it's my job. I go out there, I market, I do what I can for camp. But the best sellers on coming to camp, on working at camp, are those people, are the campers, are the volunteers, are the staff members that have been on before. They are your number one sellers. I can come to you and I can talk to you about all these great things about camp and everything it can do for you and the awesome summer that you're going to have. But you're going to listen to last year's summer staff who said, hey, it was an awesome summer. I loved it. See you in math class. So reaching out to as many people as possible. And then I think also reaching out to past people about the curriculum. This is our Bible verse. Have you seen something like this before? And that can help you to we used that 3 summers ago or whatever, and start to build from there in creating your curriculum. I think for myself, I used the LOM curriculum every year. 1, because it was super great. 2, because I did not have a lot of time to sit and create something out of nothing. And the LOM curriculum was super great. So there's resources out there, there's curriculums out there that are available to you to help kick that off. But it's definitely hard to come into the beginning of the summer completely new and also have a lot to do.
For sure. Well, thanks, guys. I did kind of a combination of both deals, and I did have one secret weapon that I ended up using.
A sword.
For staff, I did kind of what you guys were saying. I started calling in pretty much any favor I had. Previous counselors who hadn't worked a couple of summers, but that I mentored when they were like in high school, as when I was working with the Lutheran Youth Organization. I'm like, hey, Logan, I know you haven't worked at camp in a couple of summers, but you play guitar. I really need leadership staff. I need people that have worked here before and can I don't have to hold their hand while they do stuff. Are you in a position to take a couple of months and help me? And they're like, yeah, man, I just finished my junior year of college. I'm good to help. What that turned into was I had quite a few staff that were above the age of like 20 or 21. So I had an older staff that year, which was perfect.
Amazing.
Because I had maybe 5 or 6 staff that were under like 18 or 19, and it was their first summer. And it was such a great learning experience for those that almost all of them eventually became leadership staff because they had such great like people to take them under their wings. And it worked with like camp songs too. Like I had like 2 people that just like had no idea about any camp songs that ended up being like major musicianal leaders for the next few summers of like, here's how this works. And they would help teach other people. And it created this ongoing environment of the older counselors take care of the younger counselors, which was very much unintentional and very much a God thing. That was not my intention. It was more like, please come work for me. I also called pastors and asked like, hey, I need recommendations. Who can I call? And that's how we got people. A few of our counselors, like Courtney, who was on here, she was very much like Pastor Rusty Sullivan at Faith and Flower Mound. Do you have anybody? I was like, yeah, man, my daughter, she'd be great. And it ended up, obviously working out well. We were very lucky, and it was very much like every day calling people. Hey, can you come work? Hey, and the interview process was like a phone interview, and then saying, cool, you're in. Can you start like in a month? Would that be good for you? Like that kind of thing. There was no like, well, we'll call in and let you know. Because I didn't want them going and finding another job or realizing, oh no, he's paying me pennies. And so, but it worked out and we ended up having a full enough staff. For curriculum, I called on a secret weapon because LOM would have been a phenomenal resource for me. I did not know it existed back then. I had no idea. I wish I had. So I called a former Briarwood alumni who was a teacher. She was an English teacher, and she wanted to be a librarian. So like books and words and English, and that's her thing. And I called her and I said, "Hey, I could really use your help developing a curriculum. I know like you're a teacher and you develop your own curriculum already." She lived in Washington
Smart.
State, and I was like, "I will fly you down here for a weekend
Wow.
if you will help me create a curriculum. I will pay for everything if you'll just take the time." I know that's a lot of work. And she's like, "Yeah, man, done." And her family was down here. And so she flew in on a Friday morning. We worked till the end of day Friday, all day Saturday, and then Sunday morning. And I flew her back Sunday afternoon. And she was actually at the time running her own camp. It was Lutherwood in Washington State. And so it was that was my secret of calling, and that's it's Bethany Dietrich, and I think she listens to this. Huge shout out to Bethany, like totally saved my butt. I think she ended up using the following year. We did the same thing, and she used the curriculum for her camp as well. And then we learned LOM made a curriculum, and I was like, wow, that's a lot easier. Let's just do that. And so, but it was just this amazing, like all these different pieces pulled together. And that summer to this day is probably one of my most favorite memories and some of my most proud moments in that summer with that staff. But it was it was such a cool thing to be able to take part of. So yeah, that's kind of what we did. But your guys' answer is pretty much spot on as well. You guys passed.
Yes. But did I do better than Jeff?
You know, I can't say. That's for
It's
the great
pass
book.
fail, John.
Pass fail.
But did I pass better than him?
You know what? You get a bonus point. How about that?
Yes, that's right, Jeff. Eat it.
Wait, you said we could earn extra credit. How can we do that?
Class is over.
No.
Let's see. I
hope this is how it is in my master's program. I could just
just is there extra credit, sir?
Excuse me, extra credit? Did I do better than him?
Did I pass?
Oh man. I think one big takeaway from that story is don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right.
If you are a new counselor, a seasoned counselor, a new program director, an executive director of 30 years, don't be afraid to ask for help, because there are so many people, especially in the camp industry, that are willing and wanting to help, and just like us, are willing to share stories, and whether it helps or not, we love sharing. So
For sure.
Definitely reach out.
Good call. Good moral lesson, John. You always give a good moral wrap up,
He
John.
does that. Yeah. Well, I'm going to burst your bubble. Hey, John, I texted
Oh.
Aaron if I did better.
You
said
come
yes,
on!
cool.
Hey.
Yeah, I did better.
Well, but like,
This is the last time.
but like,
Throwing you both under the bus. Yeah, cool.
I literally
well,
said,
I was the cool one in the class.
fine, Jeff, if others wanted to know if they passed or failed, how could they contact us?
Yeah.
I'll give you
Well, you can
Aaron's
text
phone number.
Aaron. His phone number is, hang on,
555.
8675309.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, if you want to reach out to us, there are a few ways to do it. You can find us on Facebook at This One Time at Summer Camp. Like our page, we'll post some content on there, and we update when new episodes come out, things like that. My dog is being loud. So
Hey, you quiet over there.
Yeah, I'm trying. You can also email us at this number one time at summercamp@gmail.com. Send us your story. Send us fan art.
Fan art?
Oh my goodness,
Whatever you
that
want,
sounds
just send us
dangerous.
stuff.
But yes,
Please,
please send
right
us
now,
some
we just
fan
get-
art.
Please, someone draw us. Please.
We get junk mail. That's all we get on our email.
No, here's
What-
the deal. Legitimately, though, like, it doesn't even have to be a story. Like, I am prepped for the next time we do this and I'm hosting. I asked the program director of Briarwood, Avery, for some good get-to-know-you questions.
Ooh, yeah.
So I encourage anyone who's listening, like, throw just simple things like, what's your best get-to-know-you question? What's a good camp hack? Like, anything that you want us to talk about. Like, just a funny answer that you want us. I have an answer prepped from Matt Baumhart of Briarwood. The next time one of you gives a story, he said, please say this as one of your answers. Got that locked and
All right.
loaded.
Nice. I like it. Yeah. Email us, contact us, reach out. Make sure whatever you're listening on, give us a like, review, subscribe, hit that button.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, we are on YouTube. We have 2 episodes out there. This will be number 3. I was a little sad on our first video. It had 1 like and 1 dislike.
I want to know who
It's
disliked.
now up to 2 likes and 1 dislike.
I wonder if it
So
was the
thanks,
same
whoever was
person.
the second like.
I want to know. You also said somebody gave us a 1-star review on
Yeah,
our
I
podcast.
saw that on the Apple podcast. We had a 1-star review.
Who?
I don't know how to look up who did it,
I think
which
it
is fine.
it
If you don't
has to
like
be
this,
someone random that like was like, "Ooh, summer camp! I love summer camp," and listened to it and said, "Who the heck are these guys?"
Yeah. if there's any of our friends, I'm gonna be really upset about
It was
that.
Logan.
Just so you know.
It was Logan,
Logan.
wasn't it? Because we
I
always bring him up.
swear, Logan, if you did this,
I don't think Logan listens, guys.
I don't know.
Don't say that.
I don't think he does because I think he would have commented on something by now.
It hurts my insides to think he doesn't listen to us.
For anyone, I'll wrap up with this, and we're dragging on here. But for anyone else listening, Logan was like part of. Come on, shut up. Logan was like this part of like group of us that like we all kind of bonded together during some training event stuff with LOM, and it's so sad that he can't be a part of this. He's busy being important to the great state of South Dakota. So I think that if he's not listening, that's such a true shame because he has to at least be on as a guest so he can reunite the 4 of us.
He does. He does that to be a guest.
His photo on Facebook is a picture of us in Colorado.
Aw.
Which I don't know if that's a compliment to us or just shows how much he doesn't Facebook and hasn't updated it since.
It might be that. I don't know.
The last picture of Logan Gooch.
So,
all right.
anyway.
Well, thanks, guys, for sharing a camp pack, sharing a story, being on, having fun. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next week with another episode of This One Time at Summer Camp.
Deuces.
Say goodbye.
Next.
How'd I stop?
Stopped recording.
Stop.